Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. Here with some of my nearest and dearest and co-hosts in the building. Got my dog, DJ Doughy Fresh on the ones and twos. What's up, big dog?
John Taffer.
A.k.a. John Taffer.
Apparently.
Also in the building, the Texas one without a gun, Mateo. Shoot him up, shoot him up, shoot him up.
How you doing, Tony?
Like that.
This is good. This is good. I like the extra.
Last but not least, the bald one, the great one, Pucho in the building.
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, but before we get into it, I just want to hit you guys with one of these real quick.
What are we celebrating?
What's the celebration?
My dog,
He's celebrating
Pucho.
Andrew Tate. You know, Andrew Tate just got out of prison, y'all. And Tony's really happy
Incorrect.
about that. He's so happy.
Celebrating my dog, Pucho, on health awareness. My dog's dropping weight. Give it up to the big man. Big man dropping big weights. Big weight. Look at his face. His face is different. Go back 3 weeks. You're going to see his fat face. Now look at him.
Yeah, not my vibe. This is not my vibe, Tony.
I like it. You got to celebrate people when they do good. He's encouraging me to lose weight. I'm on the path. Hopefully it trickles down to Doughboy. This is all good, positive energy.
I've been on the path. I don't like this, bro.
Anyways, let's get right into it. Fuck that hat that this guy got on right now. Just off rip. It's Celtics land. But shout out to all the people who advanced.
Thank you, Tony, for cursing less than
Immediately.
Damn, it was me first.
It would be a Boston Celtics fan.
Wow.
Yep.
Who's also a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Here
I don't know how you square that, but
it's
whatever.
just like that, my friend. That's how you gonna square that off. But no, what's going on, everybody? I feel like it's been forever. Even though we talk a lot on the messenger, I just feel like it just seems forever that we actually have a talk. I don't know. It's weird. But my weekend started off good this morning, boys. Woke up at 7 a.m. I hit it big last night on the gambling tables. Some would say that I want everyone to be happy today. Been a good vibe. I don't think anybody can bring me down.
So you're having a good day because yesterday was a good day?
This morning was a great, yes, because today.
I said I had a great morning because last night was good.
Last night, 3 a.m., yeah, it was fantastic. It was great. It was good.
So that's basically this morning.
People, you shouldn't gamble. How about that?
Yes.
Be smarter with your money.
Don't gamble.
gamble.
Put it in
Don't
stocks.
be like Tony.
Put it in stocks.
Don't be like Tony. Don't put it in stocks. Put it in your 401k.
Yeah, that's a gamble too. Put all that in there. Put money where you want your money to grow. That's it. In a safe,
Put your
secure
money
way.
in your 401k. Don't put it in no CD. Don't do that BS.
I just
don't
have
go buying stocks. Don't Robinhood. Don't do that.
I just have a big sack of just cash money that I keep under my mattress.
Yeah, have you guys heard about this?
Better than gambling.
This that
It's a safer bet.
in July, the banks are all gonna just automatically go to this new Feds Now thing. Like if you try to buy something from Amazon or whatever, instead of going straight to Amazon, the money will go to the Federal Reserve. Then they'll decide whether or not you could spend it or not or whatever, and then it'll pay out the bill. Something that's, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is the rumors I've been hearing.
I didn't hear any rumor like that. Fed Now is just like a Zelle. It's just like a Cash App. It's just with the Federal Reserve. So you're gonna be able to do your taxes on there. It's gonna be like they're gonna try to like subset TurboTax. It's like TurboTax is actually kind of scared of this because now you could just file directly with the Federal Reserve or the IRS. You know what I mean? So they're just creating their own.
So they're
money
cutting out
app.
the middleman, pretty much. Is
Yes.
what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I still think there's there's got to be some type of backdoor access or something that, like if you owe money now, they don't got to ask questions. They just dig right into you. I mean, they could do that now.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really change the game except for who it is that's doing it.
Yeah, it's just the fact that You have no.
Just get off these conspiracy websites, Tony. What are you talking about?
It flashed through on TikTok. It is definitely a conspiracy thing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, with the recent bank going down, everybody's scared. Oh my God, it's bank SVB.
This is how stupid shit happens, though, right? Like this is how people go and freak out, and then they start pulling all their money out of other banks, and it causes other banks to have to go to crash and all that. It's like the toilet paper thing. It's like the toilet paper thing during COVID. Remember, everyone went and bought toilet paper, and they didn't need to buy toilet paper. Everyone went and bought large amounts of toilet paper, and then toilet paper actually became scarce and hard to find because everyone decided to go and buy it all at once, even though they didn't need it.
All you need is a bidet, and then you don't even need toilet paper. Maybe to dry your wet ass, but that's about it.
I was washing my ass all pandemic. It was fantastic. I'll be right back.
He has to go wash his ass now, ladies and gentlemen.
Had to hit the bidet right now.
Sometimes you need a mid-pod. Nice colon cleanse.
Tony, if you worked at McDonald's and you got an order for a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, how many nuggets are you tossing into that order?
10.
Yeah. Tony's not a champion of the people. I would be tossing in 11, 12 nuggets.
Oh, like
bonus nuggets.
I'll give you what you pay for. I'm a man of honesty.
Yeah. We had a nice Indian lady.
That's pretty good.
That's what she said.
That's pretty good.
Nice Indian lady from Popeyes. We used to call her Miss Puff.
Mm-hmm.
And she's super nice to us. After a while, she used to hook us up with attendees. Because chicken tenders cost way too much money nowadays. It's like, what am I?
I'm not going to lie, though. It is a pleasant surprise when you get extra food. Like, me and E used to drink a lot back in the days when we were younger. And at night, on a Sunday night or whatever, we'll pull up to the same McDonald's by his crib. This beautiful black woman used to bless us with mad apple pies, mad extra chicken nuggets, mad extra sandwiches. And we'd be like, damn. And it's the same one every time. And she used to say, oh, what's up, fellas? We almost came first name basis friends, bro.
It's nothing like black love.
Yeah.
It's nothing like it.
And
I don't know, man. There was this old Hispanic lady. She was Mexican. The Mexican ladies, they love me. When they're behind the counter, the meat counters, the sandwich counters, I exclusively go over there, talk to them in Spanish. You best believe they put an extra chicken in that sandwich. I love that shit. It's just a staple. There was this lady right by the Publix where Liquid Pie was at. And yeah, I used to her line would be long. I'd be like, I don't give a damn. I'm waiting in this long line. I'm going to get my extra piece of chicken, you know?
damn, it's like she knew that she has to hook you up.
So Tony's evil because he's going to deprive that feeling from the world by saying, you bought 10 nuggets, you're getting 10 nuggets.
No, you know what?
You're lucky if
the
you get 10.
The fat boy and like the original me would say yes, but the John Taffer in me would say, that's theft. And she needs to get fired. You fire her right in front of me right now.
Why does John Taffer sound like a Karen to me? I don't like this guy.
Listen, bro, John Taffer, he would be like, that's theft. Are you going to allow this employee to steal from you? Fire her right now.
Has there ever been a person with the last name Taffer? Is this based on a real thing, a real person you've encountered?
Listen, I'm going to be John Taffer one day, okay? John Taffer of Bar Rescue. He goes into bars. He busts open the books, opens the doors. He rescues these bars. Okay?
Is that the guy's name from that show? His name is John Taffer? Had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Neither did I.
He's got a big neck, and he's from Great Neck in New York. Yeah,
He's from Great Neck?
he's from Great Neck. Yeah.
That's a place?
Yeah, Long Island. There's a lot of weird names.
Yeah.
In
So this is like, it's just Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, but like
fire.
the next level. It's bars, and it's John Taffer.
Ain't
They
nothing.
did a bar in Austin on that show.
They
I know
did
that much.
several. Brixton, and Brixton is still open over there.
Huh.
The owner of that fucking bar is a douchebag. That guy, that white dude, is such a piece of shit. His wife was awesome, but they were fighting so much in their bar. It was really awkward.
There's not.
You know what I just started watching the other day?
What?
I believe the show's called I Will Make You Rich on Netflix. It's a reality TV show.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically some guy, I don't know his name. He goes around helping people like kind of get their finances in order. And what this show made me realize is that I'm really fucking good with money. And these people are horrible with their money. Everybody in these shows, they spend more money than they make. Everybody. I'm like, how do you even live like that? How does that even make sense? So yeah, that's the whole show. He just goes around trying to help people. It's a depressing show, to be honest. I'm just like, damn, like everybody in America is just living their lives like this.
He doesn't give them like a cash influx. He doesn't like renovate their house or something at the end.
Nah,
It's a bad
nothing
show.
like that.
It's a bad show.
You want him to renovate their house?
Yeah, now something. Give them a makeover. Or something.
He's
Why
like-
would he?
he's
give
like,
you-
now-
Why is anybody entitled to anything?
He's like, now I got you out of debt. Now let's get you back into debt with these house renovations.
Yeah,
That's
every show should be a rescue show. All right, that's
Here,
all I'm
you
saying.
want to know what happens when you renovate your house? And this is why people need to learn about their finances. You do a home renovation, even if it costs you $0 to do this renovation. If it's a good renovation, the value of your home goes up, then the taxes go up, and now you pay more for your house anyway. So you still pay for that regardless. And really, it ain't gonna be free, so you double paying. And most people are gonna take out a loan on their house. They're gonna extend the loan on their house to pay for the renovation. It's just
Unless you get an
people
LLC
do a lot of bad things
and
People do
make
a lot
the
of bad
house
things.
into a business home, then you don't get that. You get that refund. There's loopholes in this tax game that I've been.
You don't get a refund.
Well, not a refund, but
Business
you
house.
get yeah, you can make it to where your home is a business, and you get
It
tax
becomes
deduction.
tax
Yeah,
deductible,
tax
yeah.
deductible. Shit's crazy, bro. That's taxing and all that. That's a whole different language. That's not even English. That's some extra shit. It's a whole bunch of loopholes that
It's
you know.
not.
It is,
That's
bro.
why you got companies like Intuit that pay millions and millions and millions of dollars every single year to the U.S. government so that they don't come out with TurboTax competitors and things like that. Like, it's so messed up. The government knows how much we owe them because if you pay them the wrong amount, they will make you pay them the right amount.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why do I have to say anything? Like, I just tell me what I owe you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, like in the UK and stuff, these people go online. I don't even know if they have to do their taxes the way that we have a whole tax industry.
Mm-hmm.
All the Liberty taxes, the H&R Blocks, the all the whatever Liberty Mutuals, and like, all these places, they only exist because our tax system is so messed up.
I was doing free TurboTax for like 3 or 4 years. I was so happy. I was like, I got rid of that middleman. This year, they're like, oh, you got 401ks? You got to pay for your taxes. So I was like, what the fuck?
That's
You
how
sure?
that's how
You
H&R
be lying.
That's how H&R Block is too. I've got
Yep.
a high deductible healthcare plan and an HSA account. They're like, you've got this HSA account, so we need to charge you an extra $35 to do your taxes this
Bro,
year.
they hit me with that bull crap too, bro. I was like, yo, what? Like, I had an HSA I know, I'm trying my best to work on cursing. The last 2 years, I had an HSA account. Nothing. This year, yo, there's an extra couple questions we have for you. Out of here. What you mean extra questions? Y'all take my money every year and give it to somebody who ain't using it right. Damn, let me not even get into that. That's a hot topic. But to go back to what Pucho said about Doughboy's comment, yeah, why are people entitled to be like, oh, you have to give me something? Or like, oh, help them out. Yeah, just do it. They don't got to do that shit.
What are you talking about? This is like,
I think from Doughy's perspective, it makes better TV.
Eh.
So, like, imagine you had Pimp My Ride and the ride never gets pimped.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They just like fix your engine problem. You know, it'd be a less interesting show. Like for sure. Like,
Fixing the engine.
I get where Doughy's coming from, but
Yeah,
I think he's wrong.
yeah. Oh, I'm
I
not.
just want to be a hater.
What if at the end of every podcast episode we renovated Doey's house or Tony's house or something?
I know we could put up, like curtains.
This is something I can
Doughy's-
get behind.
in front of Doughy's window.
Yeah.
We could fit
Why
like a
just-
centered Tony Star Wars sign.
What, first
Tony,
off,
Tony, take a sledgehammer and just knock out the entire wall over there to your right. Let's do an open floor
open
plan.
room concept.
Dude, you gotta see the South Park episode where they're talking about what is it? What's the company called?
open
Home
concept.
Wreckers or something. And every single advertisement that they show, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna knock that wall down for
Open concept.
It's like it's just such a selling point. You anytime if you watch an HGTV, you're gonna hear open concept at least a dozen times. Like it's just
I used to sit there and watch those shows. Some of it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of open concept is a fantastic idea in the house. You don't feel claustrophobic. I think that's why it's such a good selling and it's appeasing to people. Like oh yeah,
it's good and bad. That shit could create bajos though.
open concept.
Like yeah, like because the open concept, you're opening the kitchen to the rest of the house. A lot of the people, if you cooking real food in this crib, it's like, do you want all them kitchen smells in your living
Stop
room?
it,
Like
Pucho.
maybe not. What you mean stop
Man,
it?
stop the bush, bro. You about to make me curse.
The bush.
The
Stop
bush.
the bush.
The bush.
Hey,
Stop the bush.
bush.
I like
bro.
that.
In any Spanish household,
Man, fucking get out of here. New York Knicks in 3.
Nah,
Shut
there
up.
you
I don't
go.
want to hear it.
Worry about your fucking
Come
Knicks.
on.
Yo, honestly, if in a Spanish household, it don't even matter, bro. If there wasn't an open concept or not, that food smell bleeds into the whole entire house. I don't care.
Because
This
they
is
got small houses, bro. We talking about HGTV.
your
houses.
house is
They
huge.
got vents.
I'm telling you,
They
your
got-
food
No,
that
my
your
house
wife
ain't
cooks
huge.
and you cook, the whole house smells
My
like
house
it.
ain't huge.
Your house is big, bigger than the
My
average.
whole house don't be
Average.
smelling like that.
It's not a bad smell. It's good smell. It's food, seasoning.
I didn't say it was bad. I'm
But-
just saying. The room I'm in right now is far enough from the kitchen. It don't get those smells.
Yeah, it'll get those smells. Trust me. It's crazy.
Tony, I don't trust you
You're
for
new-
anything.
Really? You don't trust me?
Yeah. Nah, not for
Anything.
anything.
Dead ass?
No.
That's crazy.
He's so
I'm
hurt.
hurt by that shit. I'm like, I understand if you tell Doughboy that, but me?
I'm out. Drinking a nice cup of coffee. How about that?
Oh, nice cup of Joe. But yeah, nah. Any household that has real cooks and chefs and people who use seasoning, your house is gonna smell, your body's gonna smell, your shirt's gonna smell. It's gonna have some type of order.
I just don't think the people on HGTV be cooking food in their house.
That'll be as seasoning. Have you seen some of their food they be cooking?
I love a good island.
Islands are nice.
I'm a sucker for an island.
Oh, like a kitchen island.
Yeah.
Like a kitchen island. Yeah, like a little island concept. I
The
like that a lot.
island boy. That's what he
I thought you
wants
were
to
talking
be.
about Puerto Rico.
Ugh. I would even
Because you know Puerto Rico is an island surrounded by water.
ocean.
Big
water?
water. Ocean water.
Um,
I can't wait. I'm actually excited for Trump to run for president again. I obviously don't want him to win, but I just want the memes. He's already on a roll. He called Ron DeSantis Ron the Sanctimonious. That is so ridiculous.
bro, that's crazy that we missed that freaking lunatic, bro.
It's
He was
terrible.
he was doing these crazy movements. He was trying to make fun of like trans sports.
Oh wow.
And he's just be doing wild shit on stage. You know, I don't like the man. He swears a lot of negativity, but it's entertaining.
There's a picture of the king of Morocco sleeping at like a UN meeting, and then they pan over and you see Donald Trump looking. That shit gets me every time.
Bro, that's hilarious. The man's a class act, bro.
I can't call him that. I just would say that he is
Hilarious.
just memeable. It's just like meme content. I don't know if he even understands.
Bro, ever since the jump shot.
Did you see that Biden put out some of his campaign stuff that he put out for like the merch that he's selling to raise funds is the Dark Brandon stuff?
Nah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. If you go
way.
to Joe Biden's website and if you put the wrong URL, it's like it says something like "You're in the wrong place. Go back, Jack," or something, and it's got the Dark Brandon. It literally looks like Homelander.
But yeah, they're selling shirts and whatnot with like Dark Brandon on them on his official merch store.
Damn.
Yeah, I love Dark Brandon. All right. For people who don't know, was it like a NASCAR event, baseball game, something
I'm
like
not
that. A
positive.
bunch of people were screaming, "Fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden," and the announcer was like, "Are they chanting 'Let's go, Brandon'?" who's Brandon? And they couldn't. So then the right wing joke became, if you say "Let's go, Brandon," you're really saying "fuck Joe Biden."
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like now the hidden meaning behind "Let's go, Brandon." And then whenever Biden would do something with just too much swag or just like shit on people, then the left wing people started calling him Dark Brandon, like he's evil now, like he's shit, like he's taking the conservatives out, and then he became Dark Brandon. I love the lineage of the Dark Brandon meme, and I love that the people who love Let's Go Brandon hate Dark Brandon because they feel like we're co-opting their meme. This is their meme, and we're stealing the meaning of it. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah, I love
The
it.
United
It's fun.
States is just one big soap opera, bro. That's
And then there was Dark MAGA. I forgot about that. That's how the Dark Brandon part of it came through. Is the Dark MAGA?
Never heard of that.
There was
MAGA.
Yeah. Yeah, the dark MAGA was a similar thing, but for Donald Trump, pretty much.
Oh, I did not know that. That's a new report for me.
Yeah,
But
it's like an evil Trump meme is a dark MAGA meme or something.
well,
But now a Chad Joe Biden is Dark Brandon. Just,
for our first topic, ladies and gentlemen, why do immigrants of a country hate on other immigrants that come in the country that they're currently living? I don't know why, but it's a thing that happens. Doughboy, do you want to lead off the topics that you came up with?
Should just let me intro these topics.
No.
Anyways, it's talking about why do in the US we have a big melting pot. We have people that came here 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. A lot of these people immigrated to this country. They don't really like immigrants from 2020 and 2020 and 2010. They're not down with that immigration movement. So I was asking, like, what's up with that? A lot of these people can barely speak English, and then they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't like these people," and you're like, "Why not?" And then they're like, they don't speak English, and then like you can't speak English, like you know what I mean? Like get out of here. A lot of these people don't have good reasons for any of this, so I was asking, what's up with that? That shit's whack.
The New York experience with stuff like that in particular must be interesting too, because there's just so many. It's such a big immigrant city, right? Like it's just a place where people still arrive, and that's where they try to make their first step in America.
I mean, from the stories I've heard from people that lived in New York almost their whole life, they say that they were always beefing with the Puerto Ricans.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess Puerto Ricans thought they were hot shit. Am I wrong, Pucho? Was that not like a thing?
everybody really beefs with everybody. I mean, especially in New York City, there's New York City has its own unique set of circumstances where like there's only so much space, and these immigrants, they go to certain places and they create like a little Puerto Rico or a little Dominican Republic or something. Like they create like these kind of like what these right wingers would call enclaves, places where there's neighborhoods in New York City where you never even need to learn a word of English, and you could live a whole life, work a job, and handle your day to day. You know what I mean? But a lot of it is like, at least for Hispanic people, it's like what I'm more familiar with. But like the Cubans were there when the Puerto Ricans went to New York City. It's like the Cubans, again, because of that immigrant hate, the Cubans and Puerto Ricans started beefing. When the Dominicans got there, the Puerto Ricans didn't like the Dominicans because they were like, yo, like, again, that immigrant hate, like that coming over. And that same thing just perpetuates. Like,
But where does it stem from?
you see there's little beefs between like Haitians and Jamaicans or Guyanese people and Trinidadian people. It's something about I guess the proximity of where these people come from, and the fact that somebody's going somewhere after the one group or whatever.
But there's got to be
Mexicans in New York started to migrate there more after the 2000s, like 2005, 2006. You started to see big populations of Mexicans start to move into New York. They started to go to Queens and all over, but that's when you really started seeing a big Mexican culture. They were here before, but like South America culture started to really pour into New York.
That's interesting because I don't think I've ever actually run into a Mexican person in New York when I've been up
Oh,
there. It's always been like other flavors of, like Central and South American people.
You're
Look in every single kitchen across New York City, and it's like all Mexican people. Like
Make,
yep.
makes sense. Now that
even
I'm
a
not.
lot of Chinese restaurants. The Mexican people, for whatever reason, a lot of Mexican people, they do a lot of the cooking, a
and
lot of the
delivering.
cleaning, delivery. A lot.
They call
Some of the
themselves
hardest workers.
deliveristas. They have a union, but they even have a word for it.
Some of the hardest workers in America, they would say. Some people would say.
I
But
just saw a thing on Twitter the other day, and it referred to it talked about the Schrodinger's immigrant, simultaneously too lazy to work, but also somehow stealing all the jobs.
these lazy people, they have all the jobs. What's up with the?
took our job.
What's up with the older generation calling the younger generation useless? These
Because
kids nowadays.
Because they don't understand. Like my dad still doesn't understand what I do for a living. So like he's like, you just sit at the computer all day. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you boil it down to its base level, sure, I sit in front of the computer all day. That's what I do for a living, Dad.
My dad would think the same thing, like when it comes to like doing the pod or whatever. He's like, "Estás jugando en ese pinche computer." I'll be like, "Yeah, it's just a pod." He's like, "You need to do better things with your life." Like, okay, Dad, like, you're wasting your life away. I'm like, damn, you are going ham right now, bro. Like, get out of here. But yeah, people don't understand. And
That's what you gotta tell him when he's watching boxing. You just gotta be like, Dad,
you're just
what are you
sitting here.
doing here, man? You're just wasting your life away watching this boxing.
Facts. Come gamble with your boy.
Oh no, come on, bro. We're trying to get healthy.
But yeah, there's a few levels though. So for one, there's a lot of immigrants that hate on other immigrants. A big reason is some immigrants come here legally, other immigrants come here illegally. So the clear hate between immigrants, of like 90 some odd percent of it, is just the people who feel that they waited in line, went through the proper channels, did things the right way, feel like the other immigrants are pieces of shit for basically sneaking into the country or letting their visas expire, which is actually how the vast majority of immigrants come to, like illegal immigrants are in this country, is having a green card or visa or something like that expire and they just stay in the country. They hate those people.
But they still gotta work to get the green card or become a citizen. Like, they still gotta put the time in. They still gotta give the money. So it's not like, I get it, maybe because they waited from where they came from and people have the access to cross the border illegally and do it. It's still like same shit in a way. Like, you both are still not citizens, right? You guys, one just took a little bit longer to get there. Yeah, you can hate on the other person, but that other person here is trying to make money under the table so that way they can get the green card. Or
I mean, it's like, imagine, and this is not my feeling, but like, imagine you waited 4 hours to get on a roller coaster, and right when you got on the ride, you saw a bunch of people just walk all the way from the back and get on the ride with you. There is going to be some sour feeling about that, right?
yeah, but I mean,
Like, I think that's the sentiment of where the people that say they go through the proper channels, that's the sentiment that they feel, is that like they did everything the right way. It took them a long time. They probably had to make some number of monetary sacrifices and probably other sacrifices, and other people just get to do things in the way that they think is the wrong way, or the government says is the wrong way.
I get it for sure. I think that was just a little bit of a bad example, but I get it.
I get aspects of it. I mean, if you're fleeing to America from another country, it's probably because things are pretty bad where you're coming from. You're probably being exploited in some way or abused in some way, or there's war going on, or people are being murdered. I mean, some of the stories you hear from down in Mexico are insane. Like, they're hanging people off overpasses on highways and things like that. I don't begrudge people for wanting to run away from that. I've never been in a situation where I would be willing to spend my entire life savings to move somewhere else with nothing, and it sounds like a better option than staying where I am at, but I can't imagine it's an easy decision to make.
Nah, yeah, there's no way it's easy. You're leaving your family to take a chance in a place like my dad when he came over here. The man was trying to go to Cali. The man ended up in Florida.
You went the wrong way, dude.
He went the wrong way. You know what I mean? And throughout the years, back then it was different. It wasn't how, not exploited, but how it's viewed now. You know what I mean? And my dad bust his butt, got a job, got a green card, became a citizen. Man's a U.S. citizen now. You know what I mean? Started a family. Now he's got a lineage here. So it's just like,
What
yes.
what is his take on like immigrants? Because I always find that like Fucha was saying, like the people that came here the right way, right? Like the people that you know, and it's usually like the first generation, second generation, usually pretty harsh about other immigrants. Once you get to like the third generation and beyond, they start getting a little more understanding.
Okay, so last time I spoke to my dad about it, he was telling me that he thinks that everyone should have a chance. However they get here, they do it.
Mhm.
Be good and do right and do the things correctly. Don't be lazy. Don't be stealing. Don't be out here doing drugs. He's in the camp of however you get here and you get here, great. But now take this chance to do the right steps. Get your visa. Get whatever you got to do to go down great. Don't mess up and do dumb things. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a part of the community. I guess be an American. Like, do stuff right. And that's how my dad is. Other than that, he don't care if you waited 4 years for a visa to get here or you came in the back of a coyote by paying $5,000. Like, you got here, do right. That's it. And I think that's how it should be looked at. But you go to Miami, little Havana, that's Cuba, bro. There's parts in Miami where it's Cuba. If you don't speak English or if you don't speak Spanish, they'll be like, yo, get out of here. Like, doesn't matter. And it's just, it blows my mind sometimes when I go by there and I'd be like, oh, do you guys? They'd be like, ¿qué? Damn. Now I got to speak in Spanish because they're looking at me like I'm stupid.
I've had more experience like that in Florida than anywhere else. Even in Austin, I don't run into as many of those situations where they only speak Spanish in the entire shop or restaurant as I have in Florida.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful
The
thing.
Cubans are hilarious. That a lot of Cubans get here via illegal immigration, right? Some good chunk of them, and so many of them are Republicans and are anti-immigration.
Yep.
Like
I
know an illegal immigrant. I met an illegal immigrant that is a Trump supporter, would vote for Trump if he was a citizen, and hated all immigrants. And I'm like,
yeah, it's like a Cuban phobia. They come here.
this guy was
And
Mexican though. But-
They want to shed.
yeah.
they
He was
wa-
like, build that wall.
Yeah.
That's that
He's
Dave
like-
Chappelle
he's like,
skit all
you know
over.
what? He's like, you know what this country doesn't need? People like me living here. What are you saying, Doughy?
Nothing. They assimilate to the white culture, like basically the culture of the majority. So whatever that majority feels, that's what they're gonna say. And
Yeah, it's crazy to me too because a lot of Cubans like Trump in Miami. Like, I used to work with a lot of Cubans in my job that I used to do, and they're all like, "Yeah, Trump, yeah, this, that." I'm
The
like,
Cuban people have a more unique circumstance that they're fleeing a communist country, and automatically, if you look at the parties, if you had to say what party's communist, you would say the Democrats, right? Because it's clearly not the Republicans.
Not to mention the attack ads that you run as a Republican in Florida are calling your opponent a communist, calling them a socialist. Like, you run that, and people are hearing that all day. They're
They
gonna be
don't
like,
know
okay,
no
yeah,
better.
obviously I'm not gonna vote for the communists. I just ran away from communism.
it's brainwashing.
Right.
Perfect. That's what that is.
I was gonna say the other aspect to this is the brainwashing, like how you just said your dad said, which is, oh, if you're gonna come to this country, you got to be good, you got to work a job, you got to do. If you look at the statistics, the people that commit the lowest amount of crime in this country are immigrants. Like, nobody commits less crime than immigrants in this country. So then it's like, why do we have the view that immigrants are coming here to commit crime?
Trump
yeah,
said so.
if you let the Republicans tell it, MS-13 has invaded New York.
Well,
That's what they're
you
saying.
hear the language they always use to. It's always an invasion or
Yeah.
like a takeover, or because there's this like this what is that thing?
It's like trigger
the theory
words.
that they talk about, the white replacement theory or whatever the hell it is, that white people are just being replaced in America. It's
Oh,
thing
the great replacement.
the great replacement. It's interesting. What do y'all think if the U.S. and like Central American countries and South American countries ever did like an open border like European approach?
I think it'd
to
be
things?
fucking awesome. I think we, especially as Americans, have this view of South America of it being just like favelas and shit. It's such a beautiful country. Guatemala is a really beautiful country. You go to certain places. But yeah, I think us opening the borders, I think a lot of the cartels would think twice about what they're doing now if we started working together with the Mexican government and stuff like that. I think is what we should do, right? Strengthen our borders by strengthening each other.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Making it so that you can travel there without a passport. You just have to have your, you know what I mean? And I think that would be really cool.
And the reason why I'm saying I don't think it's a good idea. I think at this point, United States will just become overly crowded. It's already overly crowded now in certain parts, but I think it would,
It's too crowded.
but what I'm saying is like
We need to lighten this up.
what I'm saying is like it's like people, everybody's trying to come to America. Like that's why you got illegal immigrants and all that. So when you open the gates, now you're gonna have a shit ton more that now don't need a visa or anything like that, and then it will become overpopulated in certain areas near the border, and until it just ventures off the United States somewhere.
So what happens when something becomes?
I don't know. If we had open borders and I was living in like Guatemala or something, I would actually flee all the way up to Canada rather than the U.S. They got free health care up there, dude.
How do you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about like doing like a European Union kind of thing with a bunch of third world countries. I think you kind of want countries that are in not necessarily the same socioeconomic standard, like the word's escaping me. You don't necessarily want them to be on the same standing, but you want them to be similar enough that we could come up with a joint currency and come up with like a joint, like Doughy said, like some methodology of saying how are we going to tackle this drug problem, how are we going to tackle this cartel problem, and we'd be better equipped to tackle those issues because the drug stuff isn't necessarily an American problem. If a lot of those drugs are coming from South America, then together you can better tackle these things. You know what I mean? Because these things span across multiple countries.
Exactly. I mean, well, that's the reason why like Mexico can't get a handle on like a lot of their cartel issues, because like you said, they span so they're so vast. The network that they have, you chop off one head, another head pops right back up. It's a hydra.
Yep.
But I think it'd be cool. The idea of it, if it wasn't going to be just a drag on America, which it'll probably be with the current state of South America. But
I saw a short documentary about this kid in Mexico. He was funding his rap career through the cartel, and the cartel paid him $100 to dissolve bodies per body, $100, and he dissolved over like 300 to 400 bodies before he got caught.
Wow.
And so like, yeah, I don't think it's a problem that we can allow. I think what's happening down there is like humanitarian kind of crisis, and I think it's like lawlessness. Even dude, I don't know if you guys see what happened in El Salvador. They're creating one of the biggest prisons in the world.
What a terrible pay rate to give someone. If you came up to me and said, I'll give you $40,000 to dissolve 100 bodies, I'd be like, that is a low amount. That is not enough money for me to dissolve 400 bodies.
In Mexico, that's a lot, though. $100 gets you by. You got to think that, too. But that's funny that you said, fuck the job issue. It's the pay that's the problem.
That pay is out of whack, man.
That blew my mind.
yeah, I mean, I thought $100 was low, but I do acknowledge that $100 in another country could get you a long way.
A long way, yeah.
Yeah.
$100. That shit sounds like a lot of work.
And you get caught.
They did it the same way they did in it's like
Breaking
the acid, the acid bath.
Straight out of Breaking Bad, dude.
Yep.
Shows and movies teach people things. Believe it or not.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. Like there's certain things that I watched on TV that I would have never known otherwise, or try to even think about that. You know what I mean? So
And
it's
now
just,
Tony knows every word in the dictionary.
Yep.
Yeah, we established that right before we started the podcast. Tony knows He
Meaning.
knows all the definitions in the dictionary.
Every English
Unless
word.
if he doesn't know how to pronounce the word, then he doesn't know the definition. That was the rule.
okay.
That was
that's
literally
added.
your stance.
I
You
said,
forgot.
I know. I said that if I don't know how to pronounce the word, I can still know the meaning. That's what I said. There's some medical terms I would not know how to. No one
Tony,
here.
that was my stance.
That was my stance. I would give anybody
flip.
here $100. I'll give it.
flip.
That's not no flip. That's what I
we
said.
call the flip. All right.
That's a flip.
That's
I'm
a
telling
flip.
you right now that I give anybody $100 if they can pronounce one medical term that's more than 13 letters in that damn word. It's impossible.
You just invented this right now. This
This
is
is
never a
a
conversation.
new offer.
No, this is an offer I'm establishing right now. You pull up a medical term right now, I guarantee you, not all four of us wouldn't be able to say it.
Nixon 4.
Facts. Nixon
Get outta
4.
here.
Nixon 3. Nixon 3.
3.
I got money all day for that. Bet it up.
Hey.
Anyways, but yeah,
Cuban sandwich.
I can't.
Yeah.
I
Bet a
want-
Cuban sandwich.
I want a medianoche right now. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fire.
He said a shitty night, a mierda noche.
Oh, I said it. What isn't it called that?
No, you just struggled a little bit to say media. You kind of
It's
said it right.
media,
I know
yeah,
you said it.
that's what I said. I'm not the best at Spanish. I tell people all the time.
A
I understand.
sock night. A sock night.
Medianoche. That's what it's gonna give you.
Mierda noche. Shitty night.
But yeah, man. Yeah. Back to the topic. Yeah, immigrants, hating on immigrants. Gotta come on, guys. You're one and the same. Like if they're doing bad, sure, hate on them. Talk crap, but I don't see why Cubans and Puerto Ricans can't get along. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans can't get along. Irish
Have
and
you
Puerto
guys
Ricans or whatever.
ever experienced, because it happens up here, a lot of my worst bosses were the same type of like Puerto Rican, Spanish people. I'm like, why are you treating me like shit? Like we are the same fucking people, bro. And they were all my worst bosses. And
They don't like no lazy ass immigrants.
Yeah.
That's their point of view.
and
Dope
my
boy's lazy.
Irish, I have an Irish boss now, and this guy's been really good to me. You know what I mean? I gotta be completely honest. He's been very fair to me. And it's funny that the first real fair boss I have is, and I don't know, it's not funny, but I just thought it was,
Yeah.
that, this guy gave, I don't know, it's interesting to me.
Okay. Off topic though. How much?
I don't know. I think to respond to Tony, I think we get along plenty fine. I've been around tons of Puerto Rican people. My wife is half Puerto Rican. I have Puerto Rican people in my family. I don't think there's like a playful rivalry. It's
Yeah.
not real. Like ain't nobody
It's not
killing each other.
yeah.
Thing. But we shit talk a lot. You know what I mean? But it
Facts.
ain't serious. Unless it's the World Baseball Classic, then we get a little serious. But then it passes.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't agree with that.
Bro, you're not even Puerto Rican.
There we go. The attacks.
You're a Celtics fan who's a Cowboys fan. Just move on.
Celtics in 3.
You don't even watch a single game in the World Baseball Classic.
I
You
don't.
don't
Baseball classic? Yeah, I don't. I don't watch
know.
baseball
Yeah,
like
what
that.
kind of Puerto Rican doesn't support his baseball team?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. What a flip.
it's a valid,
I didn't see that
valid
one.
flip.
Damn.
I watched that Mexico-Japan game. That game was good.
It was. Mexico had a surprisingly good team this year.
I watched the Mexico and Puerto Rico one.
Dominican Republic, one of the best teams, one of the people that produced the most baseball players and some of the best players. We had a very bad showing at the Classic this year. It was
Y'all did. It was surprising.
I was very disappointed.
Who did y'all get beat by?
Pretty much everybody. All the good teams, yeah.
Oh.
We lost to Puerto Rico. We lost to I don't even know if we played Cuba. I can't remember, but I was just sad the whole classic. Every game I wanted to win, we lost.
Since we're
I
talking,
think we beat Mexico, but Mexico almost beat us, and I was like,
damn.
Mexico looking good this year. Like,
Well,
Mexico did good. No, not even hating.
since we're talking about sports, your boy Phil Jackson. I don't know if you guys heard his comment that he said, but it had to do with politics being in the NBA, and this is why he stopped watching the NBA.
You mean the former New York Knicks?
The former, yes, Phil Jackson, the Lakers head coach, the Chicago Bulls head coach, that guy. That's who I'm talking about. He was with his family and decided to make jokes and laugh about the jerseys during the bubble time, how they used to have all lives matter, all this. He used to make fun with his grandkids and say, oh look, all lives matter just hit a jumper. Oh look, woke just hit this. Like, he would say these jokes to his family members and stuff and say, this is why I don't watch basketball. And I found it odd. Two things.
I don't know. It just sounds racist to me.
Two things. One, should politics stay out of sports? And two, why does he feel comfortable to say this knowing that he made millions off the back of black people or people that are not white? So you're there to make money with them, but when it comes down to support and help get the message across to bring light, now you want to say you can't support it. I think that man, I don't know, lost in his own sauce, but
I love when Jimmy Butler won the last game. This guy posted, he said, I wish Phil Jackson could see this because he doesn't watch basketball.
I love that. That's fire. I didn't see that. That's fire.
It was really good. I was like, oh, this is good.
That he wishes Phil Jackson saw what?
I think it was one of the games for the Heat games where Jimmy Butler was going crazy
against the Bucks.
And then after the game, the guy posted, he's like, man, I wish Phil Jackson could see this because Phil Jackson says he doesn't watch NBA anymore. So it was funny.
Yeah. My point of view, and it may be controversial, but my point of view is that everything is political.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that isn't political, in my opinion. And so when you see certain players like LeBron James go out of his way to not dip a toe in anything politics related, that is a political statement. To me, that reads as he enjoys his position so much he's not willing to risk any of it to make a statement in hopes of making a difference or anything like that. He doesn't care enough. So to me, that is a political statement. I dislike LeBron James for that aspect. Like, I would like him more if he made political stances and things like that. So like, to me, his silence is a political statement. And also there was the whole China thing where some players are coming out in support of Hong Kong, and he was like, "All right, guys, let's cool it with the Hong Kong support." So he was quick to try to shut people down with the Hong Kong stuff.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? He knows where his dollars are coming from, and he's doing the shut up and dribble kind of mentality. And I don't know.
He was against that too, though. When she said that, he outspoke on that.
He was against what?
When that reporter or that news lady said, "Yo, just shut up and play basketball," it was a whole thing that he was like, "Yo, like, this is deeper than basketball." And he was against that statement. He was, I don't. So
I think he was just
doing
virtue signaling because
He's
against that, and then he was against all these people, or he wasn't willing to participate alongside the people that were making protests and things like that. I don't know. It just feels lame coming from the most popular player in the NBA, you know.
Super. I don't know. There was something like, I don't know, like something that I enjoy about like Muhammad Ali was that like he's a big talker. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
he was political as hell. He went to jail because he didn't participate in the draft, right? Like he refused to go and serve.
Yeah. And it could
he
benefit.
he got arrested, right, Booch? I'm actually now rethinking, like, did he actually get arrested? Did he do jail time? I don't
I
remember.
don't know if he.
I just know he was like stripped of his title and he wasn't allowed to compete for a few years, right?
Yeah, he was stripped of his title. He was basically banned like in every single state,
Mhm.
like his boxing license. And he might have gotten arrested, but I think he got out and he went to trial and it was like a whole thing. And it was many years late. Like he basically missed out on his prime years. Like the prime of his career was sat out because he refused to go and fight in Vietnam.
Yep.
Um,
I don't know. It
I mean,
says here that LeBron James is an um, active support and for people to speak out against politics, set by a group called More Than a Vote. The group dedicated to mobilizing African American voters and to be fighting against voter suppression. So I mean, I don't know how much LeBron James probably doesn't speak out, I guess, during NBA, but off the court he does.
Yeah, no, off the court, he's involved with like like voter turnout and things like that, which is cool. I'm just saying that like it just feels weird when all of your peers in the NBA are making these political stances and you're completely silent. To me, that speaks volumes. Like it's something about that. It says something. And then when people were kind of like trashing China over the Hong Kong situation, I remember him coming out kind of like saying, "Hey guys, let's not shit talk China here," effectively. And there's a lot of Chinese dollars in the NBA.
You never seen the guy from, what's this guy? You Can't See Me?
John Cena.
John Cena. He by mistake named Taiwan, like as he said Taiwan and something like that. And bro, he spoke perfect Mandarin and apologized. This shit was wild. I was like, I didn't even know he could speak Mandarin. But he was begging them in Mandarin to apologize. I forgive me for even mentioning them as a state. I was like, oh shit. The grip that China has through like media and stuff like that, it's crazy. Wild.
But I mean, you're on mute, Mateo.
I wouldn't say it's a grip they necessarily have, but like the loss of the dollars that you can get in the Chinese market by not towing like their talking points, it's something that a lot of people could consider, especially when you're like a super like a movie star like John Cena now, right? Because he's more of a movie star than anything else. If you know that some statements you make are going to make your film get banned in China, you know, it cuts down on the amount of money you're going to make from that.
But
I'm not saying it's the right way to approach things, but I get why they have stances like that, you know.
so Pucho's definitely in house with political things in sports. I'm assuming.
I'm in house.
Like you're with the group, like saying like, yeah, I think political issues should be
Colin
in
Kaepernick
sports.
did nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm in that camp.
Same.
And
I'm in that camp as well.
now with the Colin Kaepernick thing, that was definitely I didn't see nothing wrong with it. A lot of people did, or still do to this day. I think that if you're so blinded that you can't see that somebody is trying to just shine light on something, for someone to ask the question, oh, well, why are they doing this? Oh, for this reason? Then the real problem is you, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like if you're sitting there saying, why they got this woke this on the jerseys or save my name on the jerseys, if you don't want to understand that, then that's probably the reason why they do that. And I don't think
I've been thinking about this recently with like the Bud Light thing, right? Like
Light.
it is the Bud Light thing. People are boycotting Bud Light right now because they had a trans person as part of their marketing. People are real upset about it. Kid Rock in particular, he went and shot a bunch of beer cans and did all the crazy stuff that right-wing people do when they're boycotting something. Would you buy more for the product to boycott? I don't understand. Whatever. That's an aside. But the Bud Light thing I've been thinking about a lot recently because Bud Light knows where the majority of their money comes from. There's a certain voting demographic that is more likely to drink Bud Light than other demographics, right? So if Bud Light is willing to go out onto the ledge like that and have like a trans like campaign, they have so many focus groups. There's so much that goes into how the companies like market their product and what groups they choose to support and what statements they choose to make. So if even Bud Light is thinking that like there's something to just acknowledging trans people and seeing them as a valid and, you know, starring them in a campaign, it's because the tides are turning. Like that is the general public's opinion about these kind of issues.
So it's not because they want to, it's because that's where the money's going.
Absolutely not. Same thing with any corporation, dude. Corporations don't actually care about the individual things. Like I'm sure there's people at the corporations that are pushing these kind of things that are like, they actually do care about diversity and inclusion and all that. But corporations care about making money. That's the whole nature of capitalism. Corporations care about making money. So they're always going to go where they're going to have the most opportunity to make money.
My one of my favorite things is the Republicans going to Target, and then like a real manly man will be like, "Look at these clothes. You see how they got the rainbows on there?" And then the pizza, you don't know what the pizza means. It means that they're ready for sex. And all this clothes is, and I'm like, bro, you're sick. Like, you're thinking about all this shit. So you're actually the one putting this on everyone. And the French fries, you don't want to know what the French fries mean. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, I'll never shop at Target again. I don't know.
The fact that you put that back ass country voice is hilarious.
It is. It's a bunch of middle of America hicks.
I think I saw that exact video on Twitter the other day.
Yeah. You see all of this, the rainbow.
The pizza's my favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody loves pizza. Don't hate on the pizza.
Soda pop? You don't want to know what soda pop means.
Don't let them hear you say you love pizza too.
Right?
Pizza's pizza. You ever heard of Pizzagate?
No, this is real?
Yeah, it's insane. It's one of the most insane things in the world.
Basically, a bunch of people thought this. It had something to do with like these Democrat emails leaked, and they were talking about buying like 100 pizzas in one night or something absurd like that. And they were like, 100 pizzas? Who eats that many pizzas? So then they started looking through for all the hits of pizza, and they came up with the idea that, oh, the pizzas must mean children, and they're talking about purchasing children. And then they were like, oh, the place that this happens is, and they found some pizza place
in DC.
And in DC, and they were like, that's the place where this is happening. And they went in, somebody went in there and killed somebody in there too, and everything. It was a big deal.
I forget if he actually killed someone. I know someone definitely went there with a gun. Like he wanted to see the basement of the pizza parlors, something like that. He wanted to see the secret areas.
So basically,
someone might have.
They read all these emails. These emails were talking about hot dogs, hot dog buns, and they're like, these hot dogs are children. And they're like, I don't know how these are children, but these hot dogs are children. So basically, they're saying that hot dogs with ketchup is like a code name for something, or like pizza with pepperonis on it. Shit is a code name for something.
Ladies and gentlemen, out there in this world, in the USA, wherever you're from, leave food out of politics. Food don't need to be in politics. For real, bro. Let me have my glizzy with a ketchup. Let me have my pizza, 2 cheese, 1 pep. Let me have that.
Yo, facts.
You know what I mean?
I saw a thing the other day that is genius. They got these corn dogs. You know, those like frozen corn dogs you can buy?
Nice.
And they split them down the middle. And then they filled them with chili and they covered them in cheese. So it's a chili cheese corn dog, and it kind of sounds genius to me.
I'm always into like the frozen concoctions they're coming out with. I'm like, oh yeah, this doesn't really look like it could be made in the microwave, but let's do it.
Yeah, now, politics, there are some things politics can stay out of. The workplace, food.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to talk
bars.
to Mike. Yeah. I don't like talking politics at work. Then you start to I found out my coworker's an Andrew Tate lover. He's like, he's out of jail. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, yeah, brother. I'm like, ew. Yeah, Yeah, brother. And he's a New Yorker and he speaks like this. I'm like, there's a common denominator with you people.
So, Tony, you need a sarcastic clap sound effect. You need one that's just like crickets and then a single like guy trying to slow clap and nothing happening.
Just one guy.
That's crazy. Nah, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, back to the topic again because we're just off rails a lot. I don't know why
We're
there
not
is
that off rails. We're talking about politics and sports, and a tangent on that is politics in the workplace. I don't think we're off the rails. This is interesting. I think politics should be everywhere because it is everywhere.
I don't think so. You're bugging. You're gonna have a.
I'm bugging. I'm so crazy.
You're gonna have a politics conversation at work with your coworkers, and no one's gonna get. Oh.
I'll have certain levels of political conversations with certain coworkers. There's some that I'm like, I could see this dude being a real right-wing Republican kind of dude. I don't think I'm going to talk about the border crisis with him.
Same. Even religion, I'm like, keep that shit out of my fucking job, all right? Keep the religion out of my job. I want no religious talks.
Should you base your conversation of political views or whatever based on the color of someone's skin or their nationality?
What does that even mean?
Like, should a brown man or Hispanic or a Mexican talk to a white guy at a bar about border crisis?
It depends.
Yeah,
I mean, should I mean, you do whatever you want, right? Like,
yeah, well,
like,
no, of course, yeah.
But like, it depends. Like, so here in Austin is a pretty liberal little city. I would be out of my mind if I just assumed every white person I saw was going to be a Republican, because that's probably not the breakdown given the city that I'm in. But if I was in some nowhere town in East Texas or something, right? I was in somewhere in East Texas, which leans more Republican, a lot more Republican than Austin. I would probably assume that the white people that I'm running into they lean Republican.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I would assume that the people in those cities that vote a little bit more liberal, a little bit more progressive, they're probably brown and black and some amount of white people. But I would guess that the vast majority of the voting bloc in those cities that vote Republican are probably mostly white people. I don't think it's a crazy assumption to make.
Crazy thing about New York is you go into Long Island, you go into upstate New York, it's all red territory. Mm-hmm. New York wins, with New York being like the biggest denominator, and then places like Albany and Buffalo, those go blue as well. But the rest of it is red. Everyone else is like Trump supporter.
People forget about that. There are a lot, like even in like the liberal states, there's a lot of red. There's a surprising amount of red. You get to places where the population density is less. People tend to vote more Republican.
Yep.
And Long Island. The Long Island people, they're what they would call an old school Rockefeller Republican. Yep. Whatever that means. They vote for Donald Trump. So.
Staten Island even went red this last time. Like Staten Island was even all red.
There's a lot of cops out in Staten Island, though. I feel like that's not
exactly.
surprising.
And it's where the mafia went. It's a bunch of mafioso Italians over there.
So, Pooja, you really think every job there should be politic conversations or political conversations should happen?
They should be allowed. What do you guys are
I'm
saying?
not saying
they
no.
should not be allowed. Well, no, you said keep the politics out of the workplace. That was your statement. I'm not saying that there should be a mandatory politics hour. I'm not making crazy claims like that. I'm just saying like you shouldn't shut people down for having a conversation. Like,
but I mean, usually, almost 9 times out of 10, religion and political views or any conversation of that sort ends in a very negative way.
I think
because we're not allowed to talk about it. You can't talk about it at Thanksgiving. You can't talk about it at work. You can't talk about it at school. It's like, where are you going to talk about this stuff? Nowhere. And then when it happens, people don't know how to talk about it.
People don't know how to handle it. It's so like
that's the
too
problem.
much for them.
It's the handling part, I think. I don't think that's why people say, yo, let's not talk about it, because people can't.
People don't know how to talk about it because people will say, oh, you like that guy? You're a racist.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hold up. Now somebody's a racist. Then right, it ain't just the handling. there's also the talking. People say a lot of wild stuff. Like it's like, oh, you like Joe Biden? Oh, you must support.
Yeah, they're your
Like,
pedophile.
you must
Oh, you're
support
pedophiles.
pedophilia.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Like you know
Do
what I
you
mean?
like it when he touches those little girls on stage? When he caresses them and puts their
Damn.
hair through his hands?
Damn.
People say it. There's
Yeah.
videos like that all over YouTube.
I do think though that
Um,
people like yourself, I've seen you here. I've seen you said comments about it. Like, I don't know if they're serious or joking, maybe, but you'll be like, "Oh, you support Trump? Bueno." You hit me with a. Then I guess you're an advocate for all that stuff that's happening in the.
No, Trump said he would have sex with his daughter.
That's but
Jesus
see, in the
Christ.
example you're giving though, you're talking about actual policies put in place. You're not just making a wild claim like, oh, you vote Trump. Oh, that must mean that you want to kill all brown people in America or something.
No, yeah, no. I'm actually talking real shit. I'm not just saying some outlandish things. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a Trump supporter, so you want to grab every girl by the Yahoo. Like, nah. I'm just saying, like,
The problem I have, the reason why I kind of avoid talking politics with a lot of just random people out of my life these days is that even if you have specific policies and specific examples and things like that, people just don't believe them anymore. Like, facts just don't matter. You can see an event happen and you can tell someone like, what do you think about that? Donald Trump just kicked that little girl on the ground. Like, well, did he really though? Or did like he help her, but he was kicking her out of the way? Like there's a retelling of events or a refusal to accept reality.
he kicked
And
her
that's
to save
frustrating.
her. He saved her life, actually. You didn't see that.
It's the stuff you see with like Jordan Klepper when he goes on the street and they're like, oh man, they're like, he's like, so you're saying that if Trump did such and such, you would that would be the deal breaker. You would never vote for him. And be like, yeah, absolutely. Like if he did that, if he was breaking the law, I would never vote for him. He's like, well, you know that he did exactly what you're talking about. He gives like the receipts. They're like, yeah, that's fine. I'm still vote for him.
That's
people,
like
don't give people don't give a damn anymore, dude. They don't care.
There
That's
was a guy at the Republican rally, and he's like, they don't ever talk about this. I said, where was Obama during 9/11? I didn't see him. Where was he?
The guy was like, you're right. I didn't see Obama then. And he's like, yeah, we really need to find out what he was doing. There should be an investigation into that. Like, you are sick in the head, my friend. For people who don't know, Obama was 7 years removed from being president. He wasn't even, nobody even knew who Obama was when 9/11 happened. It was 7 years before he became president. Like,
That's insane. I lost my train of thought. I was going to ask.
no, I think we should be allowed to talk about politics at work.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think as long anybody should have any conversation they want at work, as long as it's a healthy conversation. If people aren't having healthy conversation, you should contact HR and go through the proper channels of whatever. You know what I mean?
Contacting HR is good advice in general when you have issues at work. It's better than sending that email that blows up your entire career. Like it's better than having a screaming match with someone in like the break room or something.
Why the hell you want to add HR into this? If you started conversations about political shit and then you want to call HR once your feelings get hurt, now you looking like a little, like, I don't know, Karen type vibes. Like we can't
Look how
just
you frame this. You're saying that the person in question started the conversation, and then it just boils down to their feelings got hurt. Do you think people only contact HR when their feelings get hurt?
most of the time, yeah, or something physically or
Right. Like, what if someone tried to put hands on you because of a political conversation?
yeah, that's different. Call HR for that, maybe. But if you're just having two conversations,
So how does
and you
that?
don't-
How does that disagree with what I said?
because it was just conversation. Ain't nothing physical.
I'm
came
saying
about.
if you had a conversation, if you were having conversations with people, and something inappropriate occurs, contact HR just like everything else in the work.
But if it's-
that's what I'm saying, treat that like anything else. The politics conversation doesn't change the nature.
Yeah,
of
I mean,
anything.
like if you were talking sports with someone and you started the conversation about sports, but in the middle of the conversation they called you a racial slur or something. Even though you started the conversation, you should still go to HR and be like, "Yo, this person called me a racial slur while we were having a nice normal sports discussion / disagreement."
I think you acting like a little jit at this point. Like if we're having another conversation, I'd be like, man, you support a bum ass team like Knicks, you a bum too. I'm contacting HR now because you called me
yeah,
a bum. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely
I mean,
against
that-
you. Get out of here.
Yeah, that would be goofy.
That's what I'm trying to
Sure.
get at.
You
There's
probably
goofy
also
level.
shouldn't be calling people bums at work.
Obviously,
It's
you're not a
just
bum.
like-
You got a job. We're getting paid almost the same. Obviously, you're not a bum. I'm just
That's
saying your
he's
team's a
gonna
bum,
tell.
you're
That's his
supporting bum.
excuse. Obviously, we're not bums.
Yo, fuck you, Doughboy. But
Call
nah,
a woman in the workplace, you call them a whore. You whore. No, obviously she's not a whore. She's here. She works
very
here.
nice
She's
woman.
working here. No, she's not actually. It's like, what
obviously
kind
not a
of
whore.
defense is that?
that's crazy.
defense
No,
is
fuck
that?
out of here. Hey,
There are
This
ways to be
nigga's a psychopath.
inappropriate at work.
nah,
Yeah, you're
bro,
crazy.
y'all are psychos, dog. I'm just saying, let's not call HR for bitch ass shits, bro. Like, get the fuck out of
Where
here.
did I say? Where did I say? If you're talking politics and sports, and you act like a bitch ass motherfucker, then go ahead and contact HR. Where did I make that statement?
No, you didn't say those words exactly, but you said if you have a problem
Exactly.
with what somebody said, call HR. Fuck out of here. You're that sensitive. You want to go call HR because I said, yo, you support a bum ass team with your bum ass.
You're like grasping on this idea. You're like creating a conversation that you're actually not articulating with anyone. Anytime anybody has a problem with anyone at work, they should contact HR. That's just how life at work goes. So I'm saying if you're having a conversation about politics and you have a problem with what somebody said or how they treated you or anything like that, contact HR the same way you would if it was any other conversation. I'm saying treat the political conversation the same way you would treat another conversation. If you wouldn't contact HR for a regular conversation, you probably shouldn't contact HR for a political conversation if it went the same way. That's all I'm saying. Treat it like a regular conversation is my statement, is my stance. You're turning it into, I like Trump. Oh, he likes Trump. I'm contacting HR. Like, why are you creating this nonsensical conversation in your head? Like,
Sorry, I'm just saying, there's no reason to be calling HR if it ain't serious. Like, let's just keep it at that. If it's just wordplay,
there's no reason to contact HR.
if it's just wordplay, no, bro. Like, all right, that's my feeling on it.
So you think you could verbally harass a woman and you shouldn't
No.
get HR called on?
Yeah.
This is different. There's levels.
Wait, how's it different? You said as long as it's just wordplay. That's what I'm saying. Verbal harassment.
It's different. I'm not saying like her, like
Right.
I'm
How's it
telling the
different?
girl like, damn, you fine with your fat ass and your thick lip.
Well, what's wrong with that? It's just verbal.
That's sexually.
It's
that's,
just wordplay.
No, that's crazy. All right.
Well, take all the sex out. Just keep inviting them out. Hey, I want to take you out to lunch. Oh, I think we'll have a good time. You'd really like it. I promise you. I'll show you a good time.
I'm
There's
simply
no sex
saying-
involved. There's a degree of doing that it's like, all right, you should probably call HR in this creep.
There's a degree of wordplay that HR should be involved.
Okay,
sure.
perfect. Just that's a complete opposite stance that you had 2 minutes ago, but I'm cool with it.
I fixed
like
it.
that
I
stance.
adjusted.
I like it.
You're bringing me down with your waders on.
No, I'm
and stuff.
bringing you up. I'm bringing you up.
Yeah,
Doughboy's
like John,
bringing me down.
John Taffer would only
Or
want to bring
back
someone
to that
up.
crap again.
I've heard nothing but bad things about John Taffer. I've heard all the bars that he rescues are
Go
not
under.
rescued.
Yeah, they go under. Most of them go under.
That's not how the intro of his show speaks it, okay? You watch his show, they say otherwise. And he also says in front of everyone, I've rescued over 800 bars.
And how many of those?
He's world renowned, right?
World renowned. He only works with specialists and masters. Okay, tactical. That man will get a tactical homosexual to go into a nightclub and like tactically make it like he has tactical everyone.
He's got about a 50% rescue rate, according to this article.
All right.
Well, I mean, maybe that's not bad. I mean, some amount of business, small businesses fail within the first year, right? So, like, maybe it's not bad.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways, for our last topic, music's changing. I don't know if it's changing for the better or not. I went on YouTube, heard this track by Drake. I was like, damn, this thing is fire. I look into it. It ain't Drake. It's somebody else. They got a new thing going on where it's pretty much AI making music now. I can make a song. Certain word I can't sing to save my life. I can't sing. But me singing a couple words and a couple phrases and making a song, I can use Drake's voice. I can use someone's voice that is similar to mine and make a Drake song.
Yeah, it's a little deeper than that. It's called
I'm scratching the surface.
AI modeling. So you create a model, and then that model either listens to a lot of the music, or you feed it music and stuff like that, and you tell it to once you've created a model that you like that has enough like cadences, then you start to feed other music through it. And then so like you'll remix a Drake song with a Weekend song, or you're like Drake singing a Weekend song, or the Weekend rapping a Drake song, or whatever. And it's blowing up right now. A lot of people are creating these AI models of different artists and having them do covers of different artists' songs. So you'll have like Eminem doing the Beatles or something like that. And for the most part, it passes. But there are instances where the AI just does not know what to do with that sound, and they're like, "I've never heard them," So there is, you'll hear it, and you're like, Is he having a stroke? Because it sounds like he's having a stroke. It, in my opinion, is like just something people are using ChatGPT and all these other AI models for, to like, just see what it can do. I thought it was interesting. I don't think it's that interesting anymore. When I first heard it, I was very like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" And
I
then,
know, I was sick. Every day you
yeah.
would send me like 5 AI tracks. I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not as sophisticated, I think, as people think it is. It's really cool. I'm not shitting on it, but a lot of people seem to think that this AI, you're basically like, hey, sing me this Beatles song, but sing it in a way that Drake would sing it. And then the AI just pumps the song out, and it doesn't work like that. It's really like Doughy said, you feed this thing a lot of music from an artist so that to teach it, oh, this is what music is like, or something along those lines. And then a person will then go and make a Drake song, right? A actual person, they'll make a song. Like, so if you want Drake singing the Beatles, they'll come up with what that song sounds like, and then they'll give it to the AI, and the AI will replace your voice with Drake's voice. The AI isn't actually coming up with the music composition and the sounds and all of that stuff. I know like Google's AI, and I don't the Bard stuff. It has like music stuff, like you can get it to create music in the style of certain artists and things like that, but it'll create cadences, it'll create beats, and it'll create like a flow, but the words are non-existent. It's like Simlish. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's not
just
actual
it's
English.
just like the sounds of what talking sounds like to an AI.
Right. If you wanted that song to actually exist, you would have to write lyrics and then take that song and then sing. Sorry, you'd probably have to write lyrics. You'd probably have to sing the song, record that, and then give that to another AI to replace the voice as Drake or something.
I
But
think
just a lot of the AI songs that you see online are not like, hey AI, make me a Kanye West song, but he's singing Hey There Delilah or something. They don't work like that. But.
Yeah, I think that the concept is interesting right now. I think it's scary with what it'll get to. Because man, I don't know, like the internet is already such a mess. It like they've back in the day, there were several sites we'd go to. We'd go to all kinds of sites. Now there's like 5 sites that we go to, right? You log in, if you're going on the internet, you're going to like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. There's a handful of sites you're
Facts.
going to. So the internet has changed in that aspect, and
a
it's
little
become
bit
filled
of
with,
World Star.
and it's become filled with more bots and more automation. And when you add AI into that, Spotify could become a mess. Spotify could become just filled with garbage. Like it could potentially just be filled with nothing but just AI generated music. which maybe you're into that, but maybe not. Like there's a lot of scary possibilities with stuff like this.
Yeah, I am for it, but I'm also kind of like weary because I'm
Mhm.
like, right now you were at a point where you can tell. You're like, this is definitely like an AI generated song. But what happens when you can't tell anymore? And I mean, does it really matter to take the human element out of certain things?
I think with art it does. I feel like if a robot wrote a song about, like if an AI wrote a song about how hard life was and what a struggle it was and whatnot, it hits a little differently than a person actually writing
Yeah,
those words down.
the authenticity is like, you robot, you fucking silver spoon robot, get the fuck out of here. Robot never had it hard a day in his life. You know what I mean?
The AI starts making a bunch of trap music. Are you gonna listen to that trap music? Are you gonna feel like it's hidden, like the lyrics are
Shit is
making it for
like,
you? Or
I ran up on my ops and deleted the whole folder. Mass deletion of a hard drive. I mirrored my hard drives and I doubled my money up.
Yeah, the AI stuff is interesting. Aside from all the crazy, the AI is taking over the world and all that nonsense, but like, I think right now, and it already exists in, like I write code for a living, right? Like there are already plugins and apps and things like that are like assistants where you could like start typing something that's like not that complicated, but something that might take you a little bit of time to write out and figure out. You could tell the AI like, yo, write me a chunk of code that does this thing, and it'll go brrr, it'll generate it. You put it in your code. You might need to fix it up, change things to make it workable, but it's just a new tool to get the job done.
Mhm.
Like I'm
It
sure that there are
even
going to be artists that are going to like, like painting artists or something like that, that'll maybe make this AI generate a bunch of images till they find an image that they like and use that as the inspiration for a painting they're going to make. It's just going to be a tool to speed up how fast we could compose like images or compose music and things like that. But
I love how it
I like it for that aspect. I feel like some kind of digital watermark requirement for anything that's AI generated is probably the way to go, because deep fakes are going to get crazy. Music is going to get like the proliferation of AI into our daily lives is going to increase, and it's going to make things a little weird. Like what happens when deep fake technology gets to the point that like you won't know. Did Joe Biden actually say this? Did Joe Biden really kick a bunch of puppies, or was that a deep fake video? Who knows?
yeah.
They look completely indecipherable between each other.
If you want nightmare food, there's a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti like that an AI created, and it just looks it looks crazy. Uh so I just feel like for now we're safe, but I feel like this AI is gonna learn, and it's only gonna take several years for this shit to become beyond noticeable. So
yeah, this is horrifying. Oh my god.
You're talking about the Will Smith eating spaghetti. Yeah, it's something.
I've never seen this. This is like terrible.
What is it that you're looking at?
Just go on YouTube and look up Will Smith eating spaghetti. And the AI created this thing.
Tony, what do you think? Will you still listen to music that has deep, like, will you still relate to lyrics on a deep level if you know that an AI created those lyrics?
Yeah.
Like, even if that song is the best song you've ever heard, but if an AI is talking about like the struggle, or like they're talking about how in love they are, or is that song still gonna hit for you? Really?
Yeah, because there's rappers now that don't live that life, that speak that life, and it still hits people. So what's the difference if a robot's doing it?
I mean, a person has empathy. A person, even if you're not in a situation, you can understand the situation, right?
Yeah, if we're looking at it that way, sure, I would. Then yeah, but for the most part, nah. I mean, words hit me differently than it will hit you. So I don't think it could be Taylor Swift saying something that, and it'll hit me like, damn, I vibe with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I control alt deleted all my ops.
but whatever. But yeah, I mean, saying like, she's it's just words at the end of the day to me. I don't think it matters who it comes from, but words can hit you differently, and you can feel a certain way. But if you're
Sorry, so I get like the words on their own, it doesn't matter where it came from, it could still hit you. I think what Mateo's saying is that if you knew that an AI wrote this, will it hit you the same way? Like, because I could hear a song, and if an AI wrote the song, if I didn't know an AI wrote it, it might hit me one way. If I knew an AI wrote it, it might hit a different way.
What if you found out Total Eclipse of the Heart was just written by some robot? And they're like, what heart? You don't have a heart, robot.
Probably check out why the lyrics don't make a lot of sense.
Song is about...
I don't know. I mean, I
love that song, by the way.
I don't
now
see
I'm
it.
fucking falling apart.
That could be a robot falling apart. I mean, that's Yeah, I think it would still hit me the same. I don't think it would if I found out that Drake's search and rescue song, it was all AI, I'd be like, that AI is spitting. You know what I mean? I would still be like, yo, this I'm still gonna love it, I'm still gonna enjoy it, I'm still gonna have my feelings on the words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. A song being cool and fun is one thing. We're talking about like having feeling. It would definitely feel weird to me. I would have a mixed feelings about it because I'd be like, well, clearly the meaning of these words are impactful in some capacity, but it is bizarre that it's not coming from a human. Like,
do you think that some rappers that speak this street talk and this
Fuck a rapper.
drag.
Celine Dion, when you touch me like this and you hold me like that, what robot? What are you talking about, robot? All right. We're talking about the essence. All right.
so yeah, Tony, to answer your question, yeah, it does hit different. When there's somebody rapping about a life they didn't live, it doesn't hit to me the same way than if they did live that life. Like if I'm listening to somebody who grew up in a suburb in a complete rich life talking about how broke and poor and the life, the struggle, I would view that person like a fraud. I'd be like, what struggle? You didn't live through any of this. What are you talking about? You don't have first-hand experience on this. Like,
would the music still be great enough for you to listen to? Like, besides the fact that
sure,
he's not...
the music can be good enough to enjoy for sure. I'm saying the aspect of feeling what somebody is talking about, it probably won't hit the same. Like if Will Smith's son, who grew up a millionaire, drops a song about growing up in the hood and the hardship of that lifestyle and all of that, I'm gonna be having in the back of my mind that, bro, I've been seeing you in movies since you were a baby. Like, I just don't believe you. It would feel fraudulent, even if the song was good.
Like, now, if he had a rap song where he was like, that movie I made with Jackie Chan was really hard to do, and then he like explained that through a song, then I'd believe him. I'd be like, all right, it's authentic.
If you
Now,
did a
to
track
Tony's
about
credit-
did a track about mirrors not being real because our eyes aren't real, I would feel that.
Dude, reading Jalen Smith quotes are the best. This guy you could make a book of just the weird shit this kid has said. How could mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? That was what are you even talking about? To Tony's point though, like something like there's something weird about rap. Rap is because other genres of art, we don't hold the artist to the same standard. There's something about rap. Like rap got created out of being authentic. So I think there's just like this extra standard. Because like for example, what's the guy who made The Wire? Something Simon, David Simon or something?
That sounds
like
right.
That guy didn't grow up in the crack dens of Baltimore. But I watch his TV show and it hits me. Right? Like it's no different than an artist being a fraud, like I called it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'll accept that as a contradiction in my mind. I need to think about that more. But there is some. I feel like hip hop is supposed like the origin of the music comes from this real place that I think is held to a different standard than other art.
Because I think hip hop was more of like us expressing what we go through. It's a story. It's a storytelling. You know, it's more of like, yo, this is how it is in my hood. This is how it is where I grew up. This is how I had to get it. So it's just like it's more storytelling than it is like how, I guess I don't even know, those pop songs or whatever. But even country, it's a form like they're speaking their sorrows, their pains, you don't think so? You think country? You don't think a guy can be sad about breaking up with his chick in his own way, and as like from coming from a country
They're
artist?
singing about watermelon moonshine. Okay, I'm not listening.
Not
to
all
that
of it. I don't think you
bullshit.
listen to enough to really understand.
I didn't say all of it.
I mean, there's a
I
lot.
didn't say all of it.
For the most part, it's all hype vibes for sure. But I'm saying like there's a lot of sad country songs and stuff that that has some type of value to it.
And the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes.
That's a classic.
That's a good song.
That's a classic.
There's some country that I think is cool, but for the most part, the genre of music, people be racist, man. I ain't fucking with them.
But for the most part, yeah, I think I would still enjoy it. Yeah, I kind of do agree with what Pooch was saying. Like if I woke up today and they told me, yo, Nas, it was written. Wasn't Nas, it was AI. It would blow the lid off a lot of fucking people.
Oh my God.
Bro.
Nas doesn't exist. There's just an AI that's been around since
since it was written.
And I'd be tight. I would be tight.
You'd be
I would be tight.
If you had a tattoo like of some lyrics like on your chest, would you feel bad? Would you get that tattoo covered up if you found out that they were all written by an AI?
That'd be the ultimate ghostwriter. But nah, like seriously though, like I think yes, Puchu, you're right in some aspects. I think yes, some things when it comes to rap, yes, it's valid. Like you're gonna get some type of not a reinsurance, but some type of like, okay, yeah, we struggle the same way. He's speaking where I grew up, where I raised up, how I was raised. You know what I mean? Versus a robot that's just speaking from looking at it. It could be the same because I could rap through another person's life. Does it really invalid? Does it make it not good or not
What makes you a
authentic?
fraud?
I think,
not really.
I think the empathy aspect is what is like the difference for me. Like you can take someone else's stories, you can see other people's stories, and you can empathize with that, and you can write music from that perspective. The AI is just modeling. Like there's not actual empathy there, and something about that removes the authenticity for me. That removes some level of my enjoyment. I'm not going to get the same deep level of enjoyment out of that I would out of a person actually writing this and putting their emotions and their thoughts into this.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I it is weird that this is a thing. Like I like, what's the cutoff? You know, my line. What's the cutoff? Because
I'm excited about how it's gonna help handicaps, like when people and work and stuff like that. I'm excited to see like what workaround AI has for some of these ideas where we kind of just don't think that way, and I just would like to see how it's gonna help. Because
that's a good one, though. I wasn't even thinking about that yet. But there is a kid that actually has good penmanship. That man can write, and he has a rapper rapping his lyrics because he doesn't have a mouth. Like he has disability. And he's famous. Kid's famous. The he makes money doing the raps and all that. This would be great for him. Like these things, like, yeah, I mean, couldn't even, that's amazing. AI is that's cool, bro. It opens it up to a lot of people who can't do it. Or like, I can't sing, but I can write it out. My AI is going to sing it and I'm the artist. I just can't, damn, I might
even
drop an album.
for normal people, it's just gonna help out a lot.
And the hate is strong with that one down there. I said I'm gonna drop an album. He just almost broke his neck over there.
Bro, you can't write a sentence to save your life. I'd love to hear your album, Tony. I would love it. That's gonna be the whole track. Yeah, nah. The AI stuff to me is just gonna exist as a tool. Like I could see a lot of music producers sitting in the studio now and trying to create a song so put some inputs into the AI saying, yo, make me beats that are sad or this or that, and the AI might pump out like 50 tracks, and the producer goes and listens through those songs and go, okay, this sounds like the vibe I'm going for, and then they recreate that thing with their own flavor and their own little twists, and it's going to expedite the music creation process. It's going to expedite the programming process. Just all these things are going to speed up now. Like right now, if you got to write an email, right, to your boss about something, you could go right up to the AI, be like, yo, I need to write an email asking for a pay raise, and I need it to show respect to my boss, but I don't want to. I want to be stern. I want to make it very clear that I'm demanding this, but I don't want to use those words. I just want to express that feel. You could actually say that to the AI, and the AI would generate you an email, and you could look at that email, and it could be 90% of the way there of what you want to say. Then you could change some words, add some specific things about the things you do at your job, and boom, now you got a perfect email. This thing just wrote 90% of this thing that was going to take you hours to figure out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I think, is the real power of,
Same.
at least right now, the real power of
You gotta be careful with that though. Wasn't there a university that sent out some kind of notice after like a shooting or some kind of incident? They used AI to write this like condolence announcement, and they got a lot of flack for that. And it's because that empathy aspect. Can you empathize with people? Is if an AI is saying, "We feel so sorry that this situation happened," is that hit different than a person actually writing those words and putting those thoughts into an email?
Use Pucho's example. I think I can't write a sentence to save my life. What if I have to use the AI to express that? Now my feelings don't match because the AI actually wrote it out.
I mean, it's interesting talks, and we're gonna get more of these, honestly, because art is changing, and does art that's created by AI people, whether it's visual, films, music, whatever, does it have the same artistic quality and artistic integrity as stuff that's produced by humans?
You forgot of one very special niche category: AI porn. I cannot wait to see
AI
what
porn.
it creates.
AI porn is going to be awful, honestly, because AI porn is just going to be deep fakes of a bunch of other people. Like, this is why I think we need to pass laws that you have to watermark AI creations.
Yeah, I think that'd be like the safest course. That's, now that I'm thinking about it, no.
Oh, you was down for it. Now you're
turn that back. Turn that back,
but
because
we've
it's
got
gonna get very scary, because like imagine.
But we've got
you-
hundreds of hours of ourselves on video on the internet. Someone could train like deep fake technology on us very easily.
Right. Like I was gonna say, like imagine you're like say you want to do some kind of porn where there's a human and like an animal involved, something that would typically be like illegal in the United States. Now if an AI is just generating this whole picture, then there's no animals are harmed. Like, what's the illegal part of that? Like, maybe it isn't illegal at all. You know what I mean? But then it's like, are you now gonna normalize something that we view as bad? Or what if you do something like that, but like with children, or with just a lot of different things that are just not accepted in society? And again, there's no physical harm to anybody, because this is all generated. Now, what are going to be the ramifications of producing this type of thing? You know what I mean?
Damn,
I
I
mean,
didn't
even
think
just
about
getting
that.
out of porn. Like,
And should there be, honestly? Because like if you drew a caricature, like the old school political caricatures had like bestiality as like a theme to slam your opponent and things like that. Who is that? Catherine the Great, that they claimed that she had sex with a horse or whatever. These were things that happened. Now, should that be illegal because they're producing bestiality? Probably not, because it was political satire, right? But like, it's the same thought. It's the same concept as the AI created stuff. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, life's definitely going futuristic for sure.
man, we're getting all the worst parts of like the future shit that I wanted. Like, we don't have the flying cars. We don't have like awesome like transportation systems where I could just teleport over to New York. We're getting all like the lame, like future sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
But yeah, no, AI is definitely at some point gonna just do most of everybody's job. I don't know. I don't see any stop to it. It's just gonna keep evolving to something else, and then you just have Skynet. You know, it's just like I don't know. I do like the music thing though. That just that popped out. I think it was kind of cool. There was a lot of weird collabs that people want. Like there was a J. Cole and Kendrick collab. They did like a 5-track album of it. Pretty fire, even though it's not them, but it was lit. Like so maybe someone does a Jigga album that's fire. Might accept it. But I don't know.
Oh, that's an interesting twist. If an AI produced R. Kelly in like music in R. Kelly tomorrow, would you listen to it? Is there a moral issue with listening to an AI that's trained on like R. Kelly?
It's gonna get crazy because even if there is a moral issue on that for some people, what if you train someone on R. Kelly and they make R. Kelly tracks, but then you change the voice so it's not R. Kelly's voice? You're still listening to R. Kelly music, baby, and it's like you would never know. I don't know. The whole thing is all. I don't know.
Exception.
There's got to be artists today, just removing the AI, that grew up on R. Kelly music, and they modeled their way of making music after the sounds that R. Kelly did. Is it like their biggest influence? It's like, all right, are you now supporting R. Kelly through supporting this artist somehow? Like, I don't know. I feel like those lines are complicated as is. You throw an AI in there and they just get more complicated.
I hope they throw the element that he's illiterate into the AI so the AI can write music like him and not shit is just terrible.
I
He's in the
wonder.
closet. And now a small person is in the closet.
Yeah, them
Them
trapped in the
tracks are
closet
fire,
are
though.
crazy.
My
Them shits
husband
was
is
fire.
a cop. It was so crazy.
I fucked with exactly one of those songs. Okay,
I like the South Park version of it.
It's good.
I never listened to it.
Think
No,
we're
no, it's
messing with
just
the
an episode.
same girl. Same girl.
I like Dave Chappelle singing, "I wanna piss on you, drip, drip, drip." Making fun of R. Kelly. Your body is a porta potty. He's just dropping names. Yeah, them Dave Chappelle, the Tupac Dave Chappelle shit was crazy.
man.
Yo, the Tupac Dave Chappelle is classic.
It's classic.
Yo. Dave Chappelle, it's not your wife.
But yeah. What was I gonna say?
Doughy died.
Hey.
So we're gonna say-
He was talking
Doughy
too much
did
shit
die.
about R. Kelly. What happens?
Yo, them R. Kelly AIs came to kill his ass.
Get us out of here, Tony.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck around longer than Doughboy, please drop us a like, hit the subscribe button. We're on all social media platforms. And yeah, always go one up yourself.
Peace.